Amido que não fala, amido que não sou de ser, amido que não sou de ser. Amido que não fala, amido que não fala, amido que não fala, amido que não fala, amido que não sou de ser. Amido que não sou de ser. Amido que não fala, amido que não fala, amido que não fala, amido que não fala.
Oyez, oyez, oyez. The Honorable, the Supreme Court of Texas, and the Honorable, the Court of Criminal Appeals of Texas. All persons having business before the Honorable, the Supreme Court of Texas, and the Honorable, the Court of Criminal Appeals of Texas, are admonished to draw near and give their attention, for the courts are now sitting. God save the state of Texas and these honorable courts.
Greetings. The Supreme Court of Texas and the Court of Criminal Appeals of Texas welcome to the State Bar of Texas the 693 women and men who have passed the February and March bar examinations. 624 for the February exam and 69 for the March exam. This ceremony is a time for rejoicing for them, their wives, husbands, parents, children, and of course, their creditors. All of us honor these men and women, lawyers at last. The ceremonies will be short, but I trust meaningful. We will be introducing a number of people who render important service to the legal profession and to the people of Texas. Some of them will speak briefly. But before we hear from them, we would like to introduce the members of the two high courts. I'm Nathan Heck, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. I've served on the court since 1989 and was appointed Chief Justice in 2013. I'm the longest serving member of the court in Texas history and the longest tenured Texas state judge in active service. I graduated with honors from Yale University and the SMU School of Law, served as a lieutenant in the United States Navy Reserve, served as a law clerk for Judge Roger Robb of the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit, and practiced general litigation with the law firm. I served as judge of the 95th District Court in Dallas County and as justice of the Dallas Court of Appeals before I was elected to the court. I was elected for a 7th term on the court on November 3rd. I now introduce the other members of the court in order of seniority. The senior justice is Justice Eva Guzman. Justice Guzman received a degree in business administration from the University of Houston, her law degree from South Texas College of Law, and an LLM from Duke University School of Law. She now serves on the Board of Trustees of South Texas College of Law, the Board of Visitors of Duke Law School, and the Board of Trustees of the Center for American and International Law. She was appointed by Governor Bush to the 309th Family District Court in Harris County, and then to Houston's 14th Court of Appeals. Governor Perry appointed Justice Guzman to this court in 2009. She was elected to a full term in 2010, the first Hispanic woman to be elected to statewide office in Texas, and re-elected in 2016. Next is Justice Deborah Lehrman. Justice Lehrman graduated from the University of Texas, a member of Phi Beta Kappa, from the University of Texas School of Law, and received an LLM from Duke University. She practiced law with the Fort Worth law firm of Law, Snakert, and Gamble, and served as judge of the 360th District Court in Fort Worth. She has served as chair of the American Bar Association's Family Law Section and as a commissioner on the National Conference of Commissioners on Uniform State Laws. Governor Perry appointed Justice Lehrman to this court in 2010. She was elected to a full term later that year and re-elected in 2016. Next is Justice Jeff Boyd. Justice Boyd graduated from Abilene Christian University and earned his law degree, summa cum laude, from Pepperdine University. Before attending law school, Justice Boyd served as youth and family minister of the Brentwood Oaks Church of Christ in Austin. He clerked for Judge Tom Reevely on the United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit, practiced with the law firm of Thompson and Knight, served as Deputy Attorney General for general litigation under Texas Attorney Generals John Cornyn and Greg Abbott, and as General Counsel and Chief of Staff to Governor Perry, who appointed him to the court in 2012. He was elected to a full term in 2014 and re-elected November 3rd. Next is Justice John Devine. Justice Devine graduated from Ball State University and South Texas College of Law. He practiced law in-house at Shell Oil and Brown and Root, doing major transaction work before being elected to the 190th District Court in Harris County. He was elected to a full term on this court in 2012 and re-elected in 2018. Next is Justice Jimmy Blacklock. Justice Blacklock graduated from the University of Texas and earned his law degree from the Yale Law School. He was appointed by President George W. Bush to serve in the Civil Rights Division of the U.S. Department of Justice, and then was in private practice in Houston and Austin. He later served as Deputy Attorney General for Legal Counsel under Texas Attorney General Greg Abbott, handling appeals and trials of constitutional cases in state and federal court involving matters such as federalism, religious liberty, and the separation of powers. He then became General Counsel to Governor Abbott, who appointed him to the court in 2018. He was elected to a full term later that same year. Next is Justice Brett Busby. After graduating with honors from Duke University and Columbia Law School, Justice Busby served as a law clerk to U.S. Supreme Court Justices Byron R. White and John Paul Stevens, and to Judge Gerard Bard Choflat on the United States Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit. He then entered private practice in Houston, handling appeals in state and federal courts, and became a partner in the Bracewell firm before Governor Rick Perry appointed him to Houston's 14th Court of Appeals. Governor Abbott appointed Justice Busby to the Supreme Court in February 2019, and he was confirmed unanimously by the Texas Senate. He was elected to a full term on November 3rd. Next is Justice Jane Bland. Justice Bland earned her undergraduate and law degrees at the University of Texas, graduating with high honors and first in her law school class. Justice Bland then clerked for Judge Thomas Gibbs G. on the United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit before entering private practice at the Baker Botts firm in Houston, handling a broad range of trial and appellate matters. Governor George W. Bush appointed her to the District Court in Harris County, and Governor Rick Perry appointed her to Houston's First Court of Appeals. Governor Greg Abbott appointed her to this court in 2019, and she was elected to fill the four-year remainder of her term on November 3rd. Finally, the newest member of the court is Justice Rebecca Huddle, a first-generation American born and raised in El Paso. Justice Huddle earned her undergraduate degree from Stanford University in political science and her law degree with honors from the University of Texas. She then joined the Baker Botts law firm in Houston until Governor Rick Perry appointed her to the First District Court of Appeals. She left the bench in 2017 to return to Baker Botts, most recently serving as partner in charge of the Houston office. Governor Greg Abbott appointed her to this court in October. I now call on Presiding Judge Sharon Keller to introduce the members of the Court of Criminal Appeals. Presiding Judge Keller.
Thank you, Chief Justice Hecht. I'm Sharon Keller, the presiding judge of the Court of Criminal Appeals. I was first elected to the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals in 1994, and I was elected presiding judge in 2000. I'm the first woman to have served on the court. I hold a BA degree in philosophy from Rice University and a JD degree from Southern Methodist University School of Law. I am the chairman of the Texas Indigent Defense Commission and a member and former chair of the Council of State Governments Justice Center. I'm serving my fifth term on the court, and my current term extends through December of 2024. Next is Judge Barbara Hervey. Judge Hervey was first elected to the court in 2000, and she has been reelected 3 times. For the 16 years before her election to the court, she worked in the appellate section of the Bexar County District Attorney's Office. She received her Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of North Carolina at Greensboro and her JD from St. Mary's University School of Law. Next is Judge Burt Richardson. Judge Richardson was first elected to this court in 2014, and he was reelected on November 3rd. He received his bachelor's degree from Brigham Young University and his JD from St. Mary's School of Law in San Antonio. Judge Richardson is board certified in criminal law. From 1988 to 1999, he served as an assistant district attorney in Bexar County and an assistant U.S. attorney for the Western District of Texas. In 1999, he was appointed to the 379th District Court in Bexar County by Governor Bush and served in that position until 2009. Before joining the Court of Criminal Appeals, he served as a senior visiting judge, presiding over cases throughout the state of Texas. Judge Richardson was reelected to this court on November 3rd. Next is Judge Kevin Patrick Yeary. Judge Yeary was first elected to the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals in 2014, and he was reelected on November 3rd. From 1991 to 1992, he served as a briefing attorney at the Court of Criminal Appeals to the late Judge Bill White. He's the only currently serving judge on the court to have also worked for the court as a briefing attorney. After briefing at the court, Judge Yeary worked for 3 years in a private firm. Immediately prior to his election, he was employed for 19 years as an appellate lawyer in large DA's offices across Texas. He has worked for the DA's offices in Dallas County, Harris County, and Bexar County. He has appeared as counsel and argued before both the Court of Criminal Appeals and the Texas Supreme Court. He received both his undergraduate and law degrees from St. Mary's University. Next is Judge David Newell. Judge Newell was first elected to the court in 2014, and he was reelected on November 3rd. Prior to his election, Judge Newell was an assistant district attorney for 17 years, first at the Fort Bend County District Attorney's Office and later at the Harris County District Attorney's Office. He has appeared as counsel and argued before both the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals. Judge Newell has a JD from the University of Texas School of Law and is board certified in both criminal law and criminal appellate law. Next is Judge Mary Lou Keel. Judge Keel earned her undergraduate degree from the University of Texas and her JD from the University of Houston. Before joining our court in 2017, she was a briefing attorney, a prosecutor, and a felony trial court judge. She is board certified in criminal law. Next is Judge Scott Walker. Judge Walker is a graduate of Dallas Baptist University, and he received his Juris Doctorate from Baylor Law School. He was elected to this court in 2016. Before his election to this court, he practiced as a criminal defense attorney in Fort Worth. Next is Judge Michelle Slaughter. Judge Slaughter was elected to this court in 2018. She earned her JD cum laude from the University of Houston Law Center. While in law school, she interned for 2 federal judges and for the First Court of Appeals. After law school, she worked for 2 large law firms and had her own law practice until she was elected to the 406th District Court in 2013.
And next is Judge Jesse McClure. Judge McClure was appointed to the court in 2020. From 2019 to 2020, he presided over the 339th District Court in Harris County. He also served Texas as a special prosecutor for the Texas Department of Insurance for over 7 years, in Tarrant County as an assistant district attorney for nearly 11 years. He earned a BA in philosophy from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill in 1994 and a JD from the University of Texas School of Law in 1999.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Court of Criminal Appeals, I congratulate you. I wish you the very best of luck in all your endeavors, and I welcome you to the legal profession. Chief Justice Hecht, thank you.
Thank you, Presiding Judge Keller. We welcome the deans of all the Texas law schools to this ceremony. I have asked Justice Lehrman to introduce the deans. Justice Lehrman.
Thank you so much, Chief Hecht. On behalf of both courts, I want to thank the law schools across this great state and the deans and all of the staff for what all you're doing through this very, very challenging time that we've been presented with over the past so many months dealing with COVID. We know how challenging it is for all of you, and you've done such an excellent job. It is my extreme honor to recognize all of you today. And again, thank you for the great work that you've done. We have from Baylor University School of Law, Brad Tobin, Dean, and Maddie Caston, Chair of Law. From South Texas College of Law in Houston, we have Michael F. Berry, President and Dean. From SMU Dedman School of Law, we have Jennifer M. Collins, the Judge James Neal, Dean and Professor of Law. From St. Mary's School of Law, Patricia Roberts, Dean, and the Charles E. Cantu, Distinguished Professor of Law. From Texas A&M University School of Law, we have Robert B. Audie, Dean, and Anthony G. Busby, Endowed Dean's Chair. From Texas Southern University Thurgood Marshall School of Law, we have Joan R. M. Bullock, Dean and Professor of Law. From Texas Tech University School of Law, we have Jack Wade Nowlin, Dean, and W. Frank Newton, Professor of Law. And from UNT Dallas College of Law, we have Felicia Epps, Dean and Professor of Law. From the University of Houston Law School, we have Leonard M. Baines, Dean and Professor of Law. From the University of Texas School of Law, we have Ward Farnsworth, Dean, and the John Jeffords Research Chair of Law. Again, thank you so much for all that you've done for the law schools of our great state during this very challenging time. We all appreciate it so very much. Chief Justice Hecht.
Thank you, Justice Lehrman. We have just a few more introductions. President of the State Bar of Texas is Larry McDougall of Richmond. President-elect is Sylvia Barunda Firth of El Paso. The first immediate past president is Randall O. Sorrells of Houston. President of the Texas Young Lawyers Association is Brittany E. Harrison of Dallas. President-elect is Janine Rispoli of Waco. Immediate past president is Victor Flores of McAllen. Chair of the Board of Law Examiners is Augie Rivera of Corpus Christi. The executive director of the Board of Law Examiners is Nadia Wong of Austin. The executive director of the Texas Access to Justice Commission is Trish McAllister of Austin. I now call upon Larry McDougall, President of the State Bar of Texas, to welcome each of you into the legal profession. Mr. McDougall.
Thank you, Chief Justice Hecht. And I just want to welcome each and every one of you to becoming members of the State Bar. I mean, we're more than just your licensing agency that gives you a little gold card that says you get to practice law. And there's right now, you've joined a group of over 106,000 lawyers that practice law or licensed in the state of Texas. Now, let's talk just briefly about the State Bar of Texas and what we do. I mean, we have a lot of free things that we give to you. I mean, for example, if you're just starting out and you're starting your own practice, we have Case Finder and Fast Case, which are legal research platforms that you get to use for free. We have a lot of discounts that you get, whether it's on rental cars, movies, whatever, just by using and showing your little gold card that you get from us. I mean, that gold card is for more than just practicing law, I guess I can say. But we have all these other deals. If you have ethics questions, we have the ethics helpline. And this is one where we have lawyers paid by the State Bar when you have an ethical dilemma and you call them and they will try to guide you through it by pointing you in the right direction and telling you where to go. If you think you have a problem though, whether it's with drinking, gambling, mental health issues, be it overeating, it doesn't matter. We have a group called Texas Lawyers Assistance Program, or better yet known as TLAP. And these are lawyers that are there to help you, lawyers. I mean, as a law student, it was available to you, but as a lawyer, it's still there. And as a judge, if you ever get elected, it's there for them too. But the thing is that it provides you that assistance. It's that phone number you can call at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're having issues or problems. It's lawyers helping lawyers. So if you ever feel that the walls are caving in on you, that you need that help, you need somebody to talk to, we've got it. And not only that, we have a trust fund set up, a Sharon Crowley Trust. And this past year with the pandemic, we've had more lawyers use it in the history of the program. And what it does is this. If you don't have insurance and you're having a mental health crisis, you need that help, we're available there to get you that help. And so that you have a resource to look out. And that's what the trust does. It provides you lawyers. We have providers set up all over the state. So if you're in need, we can get you that help in the moment of a crisis. And that's one of the big things we do. We have a sections group, which is run through, and it's our sections. And most of them are set by practice areas. And I will tell you, for example, if you're going to do family law, they send out basically a workbook that they send to you. And it's a little book that you can put in your briefcase and carry with you that is basically how to and gives you all the high points. The criminal section, the juvenile law section, the family law section, the bankruptcy section. The bankruptcy section is a huge, hard-working section. These sections all provide their members with case law updates, resources, forms, all kinds of stuff, just for being a member of the section. And if you're in a bind and need somebody to talk to and work through a problem that you've never faced or feel that you're ill prepared for, section members will help you and walk you through it. And lawyers are there to help you. Lawyers will give you their forms, their briefs, all kinds of stuff just to help you out. Lawyers, if you contact, older lawyers like me, we'll walk you through things and help you do stuff. Being a lawyer is almost kind of like being part of a club in a way. And in most sections, most practice areas, lawyers are always willing to help out other lawyers. And today, I still get phone calls 3 or 4 times a week from lawyers, some of them even senior lawyers like me that that don't know what they're getting into or need a little advice. And that's one of the big things about being a lawyer. I mean, so many of us help each other out. And that's what we encourage through the bar, is helping each other out and doing those little things to help everyone. You're going to hear from Brittany here in a little bit, Brittany Harrison. She's your president of TYLA, Texas Young Lawyers. They're our service arm. They do all kinds of projects and stuff and get involved in all sorts kind of community issues and stuff that help the practice of law, that helps lawyers, helps our community. It's a great program if you're looking for something to get involved in, something to make friends, especially friends with new lawyers, people who've been practicing only for a few years, up to 10 years right now, then it's a great group, and get involved with them. With that, again, I just want to thank you for basically taking the oath today. I'm honored to be talking to you. You are now or will soon become one of us, 106,000 licensed lawyers in Texas, and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, President McDougall, and thanks to the State Bar for helping instill high standards of professionalism in Texas lawyers. Texas has an extraordinarily active, nationally acclaimed association of young lawyers. And here to welcome you as new attorneys is Brittany Harrison, President of the Texas Young Lawyers Association. Ms. Harrison.
Thank you, Chief Justice, and may it please the court. My name is Brittany Harrison, and I am a family law attorney at Goranson Bain Ostley in Dallas. I have the great honor to serve as the president of the Texas Young Lawyers Association, which we lovingly refer to as TYLA. I wish we were all there together in Austin at the Frank Irwin Center, but either way, I want to congratulate each of you on passing the bar and welcome you to the practice of law. TYLA is the preeminent young lawyer association in the country. We are the public service arm of the State Bar of Texas. Our mission is to facilitate the administration of justice, foster respect for the law, and advance the role of the legal profession in serving the public. We serve 3 main groups: the public, law students, and you, the members of TYLA. We consist of attorneys that are 36 or younger, as well as attorneys in their first 5 years of practice. After you get sworn in today, you automatically become a member. I love being a part of this organization, and I encourage you all to visit our website at tyla.org to learn more about us and all of the programs and initiatives that we have available on our website. All of our resources are free, and they include resources that address substantive law, practical skills, practice management, and attorney wellness. This year, we've launched a brand new podcast called Practice Areas 101 that features young attorneys from across the states discussing the age-old question, what kind of law do you practice? This series is extremely helpful if you are not quite sure what type of law you want to practice. So I encourage you all to check it out. We are also developing resources to assist young lawyers with some of the main issues that all of us young lawyers face, but we didn't quite learn about in law school, including business development and financial literacy. I am on today's program for only a few moments, but in addition to extending you another heartfelt congratulations and welcome, I want to share with you a few pieces of unsolicited advice that have served me well. First, be kind to all, whether it's the court coordinator, your supervisor, opposing counsel, or your paralegal. Always be kind. Keep things civil. I'm a litigator. By its own nature, it's adversarial. However, even when our clients are duking it out, there's no need for you to be uncivil to your opposing counsel. Give that extension on discovery if opposing counsel requested. You never know when you'll need it. Even if opposing counsel is unkind to you, don't stoop to that level. Second, protect your reputation. In the world of social media, a tweet or post can last forever. Be careful what you say. A positive professional reputation can be easily lost, but it's even harder to rebuild that trust once lost. While there are over 100,000 lawyers in the state, you'll soon realize that we are all connected and it seems much smaller. Finally, practice self-care. In the words of my good friend and fellow young attorney, Brandy Wilson Edwards, self-care is not selfish, it is necessary. The practice of law is extremely rewarding, but it's also stressful. You have to build in time for self-care, whether it be going for a run in the evenings, shutting your cell phone electronics off for an hour a day, or enjoying a cooking class once the world opens back up. You have to take care of you if you're going to take care of your clients. And if you ever find that it's all too overwhelming, please know that the State Bar of Texas is here to help you. The Texas Lawyers Assistance Program is a confidential program that is aimed to help lawyers. And there's a network of lawyers across the state that will help you find the help that you need. We have numerous resources also available on our TYLA website at texaslawyercare.tyla.org. Make well-being a priority and be sure to look out for others. Please take the time to celebrate in a socially distanced manner with your loved ones, and especially those that supported you along your law school journey. I wish you all the best, and I can't wait to practice law with each of you. Thank you.
Thank you, President Harrison, and thanks to the Texas Young Lawyers Association for its service to the bar and to the public. It is customary for the person who made the highest score on the bar examination to respond for your class. Before I introduce him, I will recognize the persons who received the third and second highest scores for the February and March exams. The third highest score was received by Nicholas Castle, a graduate of the University of Houston Law Center, for the February exam, and by Sierra Kenyon, a graduate of the New England School of Law, for the March exam. The second highest score was received by Emily S. Hoy, a graduate of the University of Houston Law Center, for the February exam, and by Fong Lee, also a graduate of the University of Houston Law Center, for the March exam. The highest score on the March exam was posted by Marla Hayes, a graduate of the University of Texas School of Law. The overall highest score was on the February exam and was posted by a graduate of the New York University School of Law, Jeremy W. Brinster. Mr. Brinster, you may respond for your class.
Thank you to Chief Justice Hecht, Presiding Judge Keller, the justices of the Supreme Court of Texas, and the judges of the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. Congratulations to all of the new lawyers and to the friends and family joining us today. We've been waiting such a long time for this moment. This past year has been full of postponements and cancellations, of holding on and hoping for things to get better. We've endured a pandemic, an insurrection, a power grid failure. We've witnessed power structures built primarily by lawyers deny justice to communities of color. It has been tragic and chaotic, life-altering and life-affirming. And through it all, we've often been expected to carry on as if these were normal times. We should be proud of what we've accomplished against these odds. Now, if I've learned 3 things from this past year, it's that 1, it's a lot easier to study for the bar when all of the bars are closed. 2, ERCOT is not just a mnemonic device for the elements of adverse possession. And 3, I could not have gotten to where we all are today without an incredible support system. My husband, Mark, who supported me through law school, even though my law degree isn't community property, and who has made so many sacrifices, both big and small, so that I can pursue this career. My parents and in-laws, whose love and encouragement kept me going through the hardest times. Aunts and uncles who are already telling anyone who slights them, you know, I have a lawyer in the family now. My coworkers, who always picked up my slack and made excellent study buddies. And my boss, Judge Costa, who gave us the support and the flexibility that we needed to prepare for this exam while working full-time. I am so lucky to have had so many amazing people in my corner. Now, I'm sure we all breathed a huge sigh of relief when we passed this exam. To my peers who passed on the second, third, fourth try, I am in awe of the strength that it takes to rebound and rededicate yourself to such an all-consuming effort. And to anyone who didn't pass this time around, we know this is just a temporary delay and we are cheering you on. Right now, we're in the middle of a period of unprecedented attention to the bar exam, and there are conversations across the country about possible alternatives. I'm grateful to the Supreme Court and to the Board of Law Examiners for working to accommodate examinees during the pandemic and the freeze. And as this conversation continues, I hope that we can remember the challenges this last year has brought and the inequities that it has deepened, and resolve to make sure that this exam is as fair as I know that it can be. So maybe if there's a fourth lesson to be learned from the disruptions of this pandemic year, it's that the way that things have always been done isn't necessarily the best way. So thank you again and congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Brinster. We have come at last to the moment for which you have been waiting. Mr. Al Odom, past chair of the Board of Law Examiners, will present to the court a list of the successful examinees. Mr. Odom.
May it please the courts, Mr. Chief Justice, Madam Presiding Judge, and Associate Justices and Judges. My name is Al Odom. In accordance with my official duties as a member of the Texas Board of Law Examiners, I hereby move the court to accept this certified list of the names of the individuals who have successfully completed all the requirements necessary for admission to the State Bar of Texas. Given what these individuals have endured over the past year to get to this point, we at the Board of Law Examiners pray that this motion be in all things granted without delay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Odom. It is now my privilege to administer the lawyer's oath to you who have passed the bar, have completed all other admission requirements, and are eligible for licensure. The first part of the oath is very old and has been taken by every lawyer in Texas. With it, you swear to do three things: to support the United States and Texas constitutions, to honestly demean yourselves in the practice of the law, and to discharge your duties to your clients to the best of your ability. In 2015, the 84th legislature added a fourth part to the oath: that you will conduct yourselves with integrity and civility in dealing and communicating with the court and all parties. While this has always been a lawyer's responsibility, the words have been added to solemnize the Texas lawyer's dedication to these ideals affirmed in the Texas Lawyers' Creed. I charge you to recall in all your practice the words of the oath you take today. You should repeat them after me, stating your name where I state mine. You may choose to substitute affirm for swear and to omit the last line. Please raise your right hands. I, Nathan Heck, do solemnly swear that I will support the constitutions of the United States and of this state, that I will honestly demean myself in the practice of the law, that I will discharge my duties to my clients to the best of my ability, and that I will conduct myself with integrity and civility in dealing and communicating with the court and all parties. So help me God. Congratulations. We are proud to welcome you into the profession. From this day forward, you are the voice and instrument for the rule of law. Whether you are prosecuting or defending an individual charged with transgressions against society, representing a party in a civil dispute, drafting a contract, a deed, or a will, or giving other legal counsel to a client, everything you do contributes to a republic in which the rights to life, liberty, and property have replaced reliance on class, heredity, wealth, and power. You, therefore, have a special responsibility, not only to those you represent, but to our profession and to this great experiment in democracy. I hope your practice will be meaningful and that, in the words of the great Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes, you will live greatly in the law. Congratulations on this milestone, and thanks to everyone for joining us in this celebration. Now, Blake Hawthorne, Clerk of the Supreme Court, will adjourn the two courts.
Oh, yay, oh, yay, oh, yay. The Honorable, the Supreme Court of Texas, and the Honorable, the Court of Criminal Appeals of Texas, now stand adjourned. Congratulations. Let the celebration begin.
Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party.
Hi, I'm Blake Hawthorne, the Clerk of the Supreme Court of Texas. I want to take a minute to talk to you about your attorney oath. In a few weeks, you will receive your wall certificate in the mail, and along with your wall certificate, you're going to get a letter from me that includes the attorney oath. The attorney oath is yours to keep. You do not need to return it to me. By statute, the attorney oath has to be affixed to your license. What that means exactly, I don't know, but you're all attorneys and you can figure it out. I'll tell you what I did with mine. When I got mine framed back in 1996, the framer said, hey, this has to be affixed to your license. So what he did was he put it on some cardboard and put it on the back of the frame. And that way, when I come to your office to inspect, I'll see that you took the oath. I'm just kidding. But again, the oath is yours to keep. Whether you got a pre-printed oath at the ceremony that had the Chief Justice's name to it, or you got one in the mail from me, it's yours to keep. Sign it and affix it to the back of your license. Thank you.